Good morning. Well, it's Anzac Day here in Australia, and I, like so many people throughout Australia and some from over the world, celebrated between 5 and 6 o'clock this morning, 6 o'clock when the last post was played, but we didn't join together in our throng of thousands as usual, simply standing in our driveways or on our balconies. And I did that on my balcony. I went out there and listened to the whole service and the Melbourne Shrine of Remembrance service. And I proudly stood there and had my candle lit, my wreath of rosemary for remembrance, and was joined by people online. However, I was the lone wolf in my court, and a friend of mine from school did exactly the same thing, and apparently she too was the lone wolf in her street. And she posted on Facebook how disappointing it was that new migrants don't share our celebration of Anzac Day. And so for the last couple of hours, I've been thinking about why that is. Why don't anyone from overseas join us in celebrating Anzac Day, or very few? In my street, I'm the only one that recognises as being Australian. We're a multinational, multicultural court. And I thought about that because they all have great lives. We live in a good area. They have stunning homes, good jobs. And I thought about it. People from the Middle East, people from Europe, Italy, everywhere, Malta, Iraq. And I thought, why is this the case? Why are they not standing out with me? Why am I the only candle in my court? And why was my friend in another suburb having the same experience? And I thought to myself, what a shame it is. And so it's important that we not only invite people from other countries to share with us, but we implore them to share with us. Scott Morrison's speech this morning from Canberra, and other people speaking from Canberra, was inclusive in recognising the role that Lebanon and Turkey played in our battles in that war arena. And yet I live with people from the Middle East in my court who didn't join me in the celebration, and I thought it through. And I will be having these conversations whenever I get the opportunity. And so I employ all Australians to talk to all people who live here, not just those who have become Australian citizens, but those who just choose to live in our beautiful country. No matter how difficult it is at the moment, it's still a stunning country. And I think we should explain to those people that the very things that make this a country that is attractive to them to come to live in, to raise their families in, and to build their futures in, is attributable in large part to the efforts of the men and women who represent us, who carry the Anzac spirit. Because the Anzac spirit does underpin our culture and does underpin our lifestyle. So I implore all people, no matter where you were born, if you live in Australia, then recognise the importance of the Anzacs to you, to your present and to your future, as it is important to the present and future of Australian citizens. Because without that Anzac spirit, without the sacrifice they made, this may not be the country that attracts you so much that you want to come and establish your families here. So please, later in the day, I implore you to stand with us and celebrate Anzac Day and the spirit of Anzac that underpins our Australian way of life. God bless you and welcome here, but join with us to recognise how important Anzac Day is to all people who live here, not just to Australians, not just to New Zealanders, but to all people from all countries, from all parts of the world who choose to make their life, who have their present and their future in Australia. Share with us. So perhaps next Anzac Day, we'll see many, many more than ever before standing outside the cenotaphs and the shrines and holding candles to the spirit of the Anzacs. God bless. Have a good day.